Hey guys, welcome to another stretch video. Today I'm going to be taking you through a nice full body stretch that you can do at any time of the day. You can do it in the morning, after a workout, if you're just sitting around at a desk, you need a little break before you go to bed. You are going to feel really good after doing this, and it's really going to help increase the flexibility of your muscles. So you don't need any equipment, all you need is a little bit of space, your body, and if you're on a hard surface you might want a mat, but if you're on carpet that's absolutely fine. Now before we get going, if I could just ask you for one teeny little favour, just hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and if you do like this video please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. But without further ado, let's get into our stretch. Now we're going to start standing, and I want you to just take some big shoulder rolls while you're taking in some deep breaths. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. Nice and big. One more. Good. Right, and now I want you to just take your hands to your sides. You're going to take your right hand, place it on the other side of your head, and just gently pull your ear towards your shoulder. Very gently, and just take some deep breaths here. Good, okay, and gently release that. Other side, so reach down towards the side of your leg and pull on that head very gently, bring it down towards the side of your ear. This should help release any tension in your neck, especially if you've been working at a desk all day. This tends to get pretty tight, so it should help relieve some tension there. Good, okay, and slowly release. Now we're going to take our arms up and just reach down to the floor as far as you can. You might want to take your legs a little bit wider here. Don't worry if you can't reach down to the floor, just hold on to your elbows and let your head hang heavy. If you can reach to the floor, place your hands on the floor and just hold it here for a second. Try and keep that back nice and straight so you emphasize the stretch in the back of the legs and your hamstrings and your calf muscles. You can do some rocks here if you're holding your elbows. Okay, now I want you to push into one side of your hip. So push into the left side, sending those hips back. You should feel a deeper stretch down the back of that leg. Good, now push over to the other side. Again, if you're holding your elbows, same thing, you're just pushing those hips back. Good, and bring it back to center. Now you're going to walk your hands over to your left foot and just hold it there. Hold onto your shin if you're a little bit higher. Just go at your own pace and do what feels good. Take some deep breaths. Remember to breathe through all of these stretches because that's where you're going to get the most out of them, because it really helps to relax those muscles a little bit further. Walk them over to your right hand side. So on the right foot. Good, okay. Now from here, just slowly bend your knees and roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come down onto our knees. I'm going to stretch out our leg a little bit more, but we're going to go onto the front of our legs. So we're going to stretch out that hip flexor first. So place your left foot forwards and tuck that tailbone under so you've got a nice straight back. And just take one arm up, straight up, and take it over to the side. You can place your hand behind your head if you want to deepen that stretch a little bit more. Just hold that stretch here. If you're feeling particularly tight in any area, then feel free to hold the stretches longer. But if I'm just gonna go through these as if I was just doing a general stretch. Good, and slowly release. Now I want you to lunge forwards So you should feel a nice little stretch, maybe even in your hamstrings on that left leg. And I want you to take the palm of your hand, the left hand, and push that knee out, and you should get a nice stretch, maybe in your glutes, in your groin. This is just a really nice hip opener. You can let that sole of the foot come up as well. So I'm on the side of that foot, and that just helps open it up a little bit more. Make sure you're lifting your chest here as well. Good. You can rotate your shoulders a little bit more if you want to deepen that stretch. Okay, and bring it back to center. Now I want you to just send those hips back, so we're staying on the same leg. Just send those hips back and reach your hands down to the floor. If you can't reach your hands to the floor, just maybe pop your hand on something, on a stool or table next to you, or even a water bottle if you've got one with you, and just hold this stretch here. You should get a nice deep stretch in the hamstring. You might want to shift your leg back because you want to maintain a nice line, so your hips should be stacked over your knee. And bring those toes towards you to get that stretch in the deeper part of your calf muscle. Again, I would recommend holding these for at least 30 seconds to really get the maximum benefit from these stretches. And I would recommend doing them a couple times a week to really see improvements in your flexibility. Good, and slowly release that. Okay, we're going to switch legs. So, right leg forwards. Again, both knees at a right angle. Tuck that tailbone under and take your left hand up nice and tall. Place that hand behind you and just take your shoulders over to one side to really deepen that stretch down the front of your body. Good. Okay. Now I want you to lunge forwards again like we did on the other leg. So keeping that chest nice and tall. You can even take your hands lower here if you want a deeper stretch, if you want to do that on the other side as well. And if you want to spend a bit more time in this stretch, that's also a really nice one to do. But for now, I just want you to place your right palm on the inside of that knee and push that out so that the sole of your foot just maybe comes out slightly. You can rotate your shoulders towards the other side, lifting that chest nice and tall. Nice deep breaths here. Good. Okay, and slowly release that. Now you're going to send those hips back again. We're going to stretch out those hamstrings. Again, you might need to shift your knee a little bit so that you can get those hips stacked over your knee. But the key with this is to make sure that you maintain a nice flat back and straight back, because that will emphasize the stretch down in your hamstrings and in your glutes as well. So make sure you maintain a nice flat back, otherwise it just becomes more of a lower back stretch. So lift in that chest. Now you can bring your toes towards you. You can put some pressure on it too if you want to deepen that stretch in the calf. So bring those toes towards you with your hand, or you can just actively do it yourself. But if you want to push that stretch a little bit further and increase the flexibility, then pulling your toes towards you is probably going to be more beneficial for that. And release. Good. Okay, now I want you to come onto all fours here. we're going to stretch out our chest a little bit and our biceps. So I just want you to take your right hand out to one side, and I want you to drop that shoulder and the armpit down towards the ground, and place your head on the floor, or your ear on the floor the other way. So just hold the stretch here. You can fall into it, so your bum should be nice and high, and just reaching that arm out. The other arm is just here to stabilise you next to your head. Just hold it here. You might want to shimmy around a bit to see where the tight areas are. Nice deep breath. Good. And gently come up. Other side, so take the left hand out to the side. Place your head on the floor. Hand goes next to you. And just find that tight spot. Just fall into it. Let your chest come down to the floor. You should feel a nice stretch in your chest. You can even push away with that hand if you want to increase that stretch down the shoulder and your chest a little bit if it helps. Otherwise, just hold it here. Really stretch those fingers out and that arm you've got outstretched to the side. And that will really help stretch out those biceps. Good, okay, and slowly bring yourself up. Similar thing we're going to do now, we're going to thread the needle, so stretching out our backs, our upper back. So you're going to take your left hand, thread it through between your right hand and your right knee, and you're just going to let that chest fall onto that shoulder. So your palm is going to be facing up this time. Again, just place the other hand next to your head. Take some deep breaths here. This is also a nice one if you've been working at a desk all day and your shoulders and your neck can get quite tight. This can be a nice one to just give you some relief. Okay, and the other side. Thread it through and let your chest fall. Nice deep breath. And just let your body sink into these stretches and let go of any tension. And breathing will help you do that. Nice deep breath. Good. Okay, and slowly bring yourself up. From here, we're just going to walk our hands forwards. And we're going to get into a bit of a lat stretch. So you're going to let your chest fall to the ground here, so your buns are still nice and high. You can place your head on the floor if it feels comfortable. You could just look up and deepen that stretch, so pushing those armpits down into the floor. Take some nice deep breaths and just let that chest fall and sink into the ground. Good, okay. Now you can walk your hands in, but staying with your chest nice and low. You can just sit on your heels. I'm going to come into a child's pose, so you can either keep your knees together or you can take them out to the sides if it feels more comfortable and just sit on your heels here. And this can be a nice little stretch to help loosen up that lower back and just relieve some tension in your lower back. So take some deep breaths here. Good. Okay. Now, you can stay facing the way you are. I'm just going to turn to the front so you can see. But now you're going to take those knees nice and wide here. And you can rock backwards and forwards here, or you can just hold this stretch. This is a really nice one for the groin. And if you squat a lot as well, this is a really good one just for the hips. So either rock here or just hold the stretch. You can bring it down onto your knees. Have your arms straight out in front of you. That really helps to deepen the stretch too. But I just want you to hold that stretch there. So from the side, just looks like this. You might find that as you rock backwards and forwards, you can go a little bit further with it, so you can open those knees a little bit more, push those knees out a little bit further. Good, and just hold it here, take some nice deep breath. Good, and now to come out of this stretch, you can either just walk your hands back and sit up, or you can come down onto your stomach and bring those knees together behind you. Okay, so from here, we are just going to push ourselves up 3 times. So just activating that lower back a little bit, activating those back muscles, especially if you're working at a desk all day. These are really going to help strengthen your back, because a lot of people, when they do have lower back pain and they've been sitting all day, they think it's because their back is tight, when in fact it's probably likely very weak from where it's been on a stretch all day. Last one. Good. This time I want you to push yourself all the way up if you can. If not, don't worry, just push up as far as you can. And just hold it here. We're on our last stretch. You can rotate your shoulders around a little bit, get a little bit more movement. This is a nice one for the abs and the hip flexors too. Good. Remember, if you want to go back and spend a little bit longer on any of the stretches, feel free to do so. This is all for you, so go at your own pace, do what feels good, and hopefully it'll help. So you can come back into child's pose. Just to finish off, take some deep breath here. Clearly, put those hands back. And you're done. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you feel nice and loose and flexible. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share with your friends and family too if you feel like they could benefit from it as well. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you never miss a future video from me. And because it just all really helps support my channel, and I would really appreciate it. But if you want more stretch videos, I'm going to link some down in the description box below. So feel free to check them out, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.